Yo, what is good? My anime faithful, what is good, yo? Man, so our little lovely girl Latina is home, and we now got to only worry about the crazy drunk people that are always around, that are always just, being themselves, but to be fair, they're less dangerous than, the people at the school and stuff like that. So that's definitely telling you something there. And to think that this whole episode was kind of on the regards of her like getting home and just pretty much being able to, holy crap, being able to see, her friends and family that she's making there. But everywhere this girl goes, she makes some type of resemblance of a family or some type of bond with everybody. So it's almost like whatever he tries to do with her or wherever he takes her, she's now going to be sad in some way, shape, or form, learning that there's a place where she, stays at the most, and it's possible that none of them are actually. I think that's the world boss. Hmm. We'll check it out. But we see a lot of what her personality, her life, her brightness, everything kind of brings to other people. So it's one of those things where, excuse me, it sucks for everybody who she's leaving, not only them, but her, because she's experiencing what it feels like to have people come into your life like Dale and then just have to leave them because you were never planning on staying there in the first place. Even though they did spend 2 months there, um, it would still be weird to get that acquainted with people waking up day in, day out. I mean, as a kid anyway. So it's really reminiscent of just how they are playing with all this stuff, how they're giving us these interactions between her and her family. Yeah, this is the world boss. Okay, okay, okay. And why these things are happening, um, not only to her, but when it's happening to all those people around her, how does she feel about making them sad and leaving them the way that she has to, the way that she's just living her life right now is, on the road until she gets home. So now that's something else that's kind of eating away at her. You can definitely see it when she had to leave Dale's grandma and how much of a inspiration and role model that she is to her. So I definitely understand it as someone who was, pampered way more by a grandma than my mom and dad because they didn't want to spoil me and whatnot. But it was all fair game for my grandma because she wasn't raising me, every single day, night, and evening. So the time she did see me, she liked to break the rules that, my mom and dad would set for themselves not to do for us. But that's kind of what I get with this grandma, like she definitely is breaking the rules, and with Dale not even knowing the things that have been, taught to her so quickly, she clearly favors him or her over him every day. But I mean, she still loves him and cares about him, but that's just how it goes. Like she's definitely got potential to learn quite a bit of things from her. Not only that, the ability to handle and talk and communicate with these beasts that are, passed down from generation to generation to be watched over by certain people within the village. But now you have someone that they actually kind of want around them. The animals are pretty much uh, in agreement when it comes down to they probably all wouldn't mind having Latina be the one always showing up and giving them love and just talking to them at the end of the day. So that was the real cool part of just seeing the way this show likes to give you so much information, and not only that, then play on it in the case of pushing forward the narrative and making you think that you know what could be possible in a lot of these cases, but at the end of the day, once you see it all play out, you're kind of like, whoa, this could actually turn into something. Because, like I've been saying with the Ikaski, the cheat magician or whatever, that show has consequences. That show has real feeling into it, and I think that is very well translated through this show in the case of every type of feeling and every type of journey holds a new weight and new information, not to mention her being there for 2 months, she was still learning the whole time, so she's there learning about, whatever certain magic traits can do for people and how to tell a magic trait from just looking at a person, which if they have certain hair color, that means they probably have a very unique magic trait or something along those lines. And that was just something she knew, by herself because of all of the time she started to spend learning from him and stuff like that. So I love that way of introducing her as like a even more intelligent woman than she already, or girl that she already is, because it's going to lead into her womanhood of what does she become, what does she fight for, or what does she, you know, care about enough to put her own life on the line or something along those lines. Like, I'm guessing she would have sooner or later a normal human life after how she's being treated amongst these people in this town. I think it might get a little bit harder for her when it comes to her adulthood. Being a full-fledged uh, demon in this place, it seems like a disaster. But having so many people being able to put in a good word for her definitely gives, some type of backing behind her being there and, you know, them being accepting of her. But at the end of the day, we still got to remember that these are the same people that literally have a town of people who were trying to just snatch up demi-humans and sell them off or something along those lines. So it's pretty wild. The show's pretty wild, and they were doing it in broad daylight. They didn't even care. They're like, well, we might as well just try to do this right now. She's right here. Screw it, Skeeter. Grab her. But overall, we seen, quite a bit in this show when it comes down to just how everything transpires and where things start to kind of fall into place after, it's happened and she has some type of experience of certain things that she doesn't want to experience again. It's stuff like that that gives you kind of a feeling of, like what is something she still hasn't even experienced that could change a lot of what happens with her narrative in the future. That's always been something kind of interesting to me when it came down to like where her character is right now and what it can become, because she seemingly can be anything at this point. She can be um, you know, uh, any type of job that humans do, like doctors and stuff like that. She could do all that. She could even be a trainer of like certain like magical monsters or something like that, So just because of this situation she's been in at the farm, we learn just what she's capable of. Not only that, but how her reactions with certain things work as well, because just her experiencing animals and having such a good connection with them, she should, either want to have some type of line of work with them or could easily have line of work with them when it comes down to people trusting her to be able to know what she's doing. So I already like that. I thought that was pretty smart to at least add, even more and more characteristics to her character. Um, Not only does she seem pretty broken when it comes down to being the sweetest of all sweethearts, she is now, capable of taming and having animals relatively love and want to share, their time with her. So I can't wait to see. That scared the crap out of me. I actually, I actually felt my heart rate race a little bit. So let me know what you guys are thinking about this week's episode. It's been a really relaxing ride. It kind of sucks that both of my chill shows are about to disappear right before my eyes. Freaking the Muscle Show and this show is kind of, they're 12 episodes, so they're both like on the brink of being done. So hopefully when these shows drop and they're done, there's going to be something else to kind of pick up the slack where they leave because I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss them. But yeah, overall, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, night, evening, though. Whatever the case may be when you're watching this, I am your boy, the Anime G. And I will definitely talk to you guys sooner than later when it comes down to tomorrow with some new content and maybe even what was I gonna say? Maybe some gameplay because I love Monster Hunter World, but I don't want to put video game accent like it's just about the gameplay on the channel if it's not what people are even looking forward to. Not to mention Iceborne coming out as it's coming out, like the time it's coming out, people probably don't want spoilers. So I'll try my best probably to just have it in the background in some videos once it's kind of been out for a little bit, so people have a chance to, see it the way that they want or whatever the case may be. So I hope you guys have an amazing one. I will definitely talk to you later, and I wanted to show this boss fight, but I've been talking for a while. So yeah, have an awesome one and peace.